Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Jonathan. I'm so passionate about what I do, which is coaching men who have anxiety and helping them to overcome anxiety in all areas of their life. I've been coaching now for almost 11 years, and during that time it's gone so quick, and I've learned so much about confidence, anxiety, success, about character, about discipline, about motivation, about failure, about transformations, about overcoming trauma, so many things. And I can't believe that I've actually lived this life. Being that for the first 14, 15 years of my life, I was afraid to come out of my house and go to the shop and buy a carton of milk. I was so afraid of people. I was so ashamed of who I was. I felt so insecure in every area of my life. And I got to a stage of my life where I started thinking about committing suicide, and that's when I knew this is really bad, because I don't want to do that. I was afraid to live, and I was afraid to die, and I was afraid to stay the way that I was. And I've said in my last video, I had like a haunting conversation which blackmailed me and bullied me and made me ashamed for 14 years. And that conversation was, you're a loser, you don't have any money, you don't have a proper job, you don't have a girlfriend, and you're not successful. You've not contributed anything to society, and you failed at school, and you failed at everything, and you're just a terrible, disgraceful person. And that used to keep me up at night all the time. I used to get panic attacks in the morning, and that's why I felt so ashamed and so afraid of being around people, because I was afraid that that conversation that I spent 14 years hiding, it would spill out, and people would know my thoughts, they'd know my fears, they would know my shame, they would know my demons, and then they would reject me. Even worse than reject me, they would just see what I'm ashamed of, and I was petrified of other people knowing these things about me. And that's what started to make me have mental health issues and make me start to think, well, if I killed myself, I could escape this and I wouldn't have to deal with this, because I didn't want to think about these things. I tried all the things that most young men do, watching films, eating junk food, sugar. I tried to distract myself from this tormenting, horrible, depressing, dark, sad, agonizingly painful conversation. I just wanted it to stop. I just wanted my own mind to stop bullying me and tormenting me, and I couldn't get it to stop. Sometimes it would, but then it would come back again, and there were periods where it would come on so strong, I just would feel like breaking down crying. So I didn't feel like much of a man, even though people said nice things about me, even though my parents loved me and said things, and I always had a good heart. I didn't like myself, and I was so afraid of my own fear that I couldn't admit this. So part of me denied it. Part of me tried to convince myself that, no, I'm a great guy, no, I'm awesome, no, people like me, I'm this, I'm that, but deep down, that's not how I felt. I didn't love myself, I didn't like myself, I didn't really know who I was, but all I knew was my life didn't feel right in every area. Something didn't feel right. Don't get me wrong, I said this before. My upbringing, if I was to describe it, it was a great childhood, and it was also a terrible childhood. It was very traumatic, so I had both, right? Which I'm grateful for now, because it wasn't just terrible. And I know there's people that have suffered a lot more than me, but I suffered a lot, and I was at war with myself. The biggest challenge was me. I was battling with me. I felt like two people, one nice kid, nice person, honest and encouraging and hardworking, but another terrible person, and I really struggled. So I had to get to a point of rock bottom where I actually said, I can't do this no more, I can't take this anymore. What I was saying was, I can't take this pain, and I can't take this tormenting in the conversation, which keeps telling me the same thing, that I'm not good enough. So as I said, after getting to that point where I just hit rock bottom and I couldn't take it anymore, that's when I started to look for answers. And I said in my videos before, a friend of mine had a book by a man called Les Brown, who I didn't know at the time, and I wasn't really open to reading the book. And I don't know what made me do it, but I was praying at the time. I was asking God for help or any guidance or just a way of getting out of this situation. I wanted my life to change. And I went on YouTube, I listened to a Les Brown video, and it just made me cry, it made me break down. And I've said before, it wasn't like I'm crying, I didn't cry because, well, I was weak, but it was like I cried because he made me feel that I was worth something and that I could succeed. And when he shared his story, it really connected with my story. Even though our stories are slightly different, but when he spoke about being called dumb at school and being laughed at, and when he said these certain affirmations, you will fail your way to success, that really spoke to me at the time. Because my whole life I was terrified of failing in case people laughed at me and judged me and shamed me, because that happened when I was younger. So that traumatized me, and I was so afraid of reliving those experiences again in any area of my life, be it with a relationship, be it at work, at university, with parents. I was so afraid. But Les Brown made me find that courage that I always had in me. And I went out and I spent the next, I would say, 12 to 18 months. It was between a year and 2 years facing my fears. And the main fears I had were social fears. And through that process, I changed as a person. I silenced that conversation, and eventually I achieved all my goals but my mind was telling me that you'll never achieve because you're not good enough and you're a horrible person. So I got a lovely girlfriend, I made money, and I became successful in becoming a dating and relationship expert, and later on evolved from that and to what I am now, a confidence coach. So that's why I'm passionate about my new program, which is the 12-month anxiety program, which is a 10K investment, because the program has been designed and born out of my real experience, how I went from a guy that was terrified in every area and was unsuccessful and depressed, to a guy that overcame his fears and became happy and successful. And I mean both internally and externally, because obviously, well, it's not obvious actually to some. For me, success is not just about making money, getting a girlfriend and being successful in life on YouTube or with a business or with losing weight. Success is about feeling how you want to feel, feeling good about yourself and liking yourself and not being at war with yourself every day and living a life of having more peace in your life. So I'm passionate about this program. It's not for everyone because it's a big investment, mostly emotionally, but it's for clients that are very committed. And that's why I've worked with Philip, because he's very committed and he's getting fantastic results and he's lovely to work with and he shows up and he's succeeding. So if any of you are committed to spending 1 year working with me on my 12-month anxiety program, get in touch. I'll have to interview you, I'll have to speak to you over Zoom to make sure that you're right for the program, because I don't work with anyone. Obviously, you've got to be right with me. So the initial Zoom call will be free. I will need at least 30 minutes with you, 30 to 16 minutes. I want to get to know a bit more about you as a person, your values, your character. I'm not judging you, but I need to make a judgment as to whether I can work with you or not. And it's a big investment on both sides. And obviously, I can't work with loads of clients because it's a year investment, and I have other clients on my 6 weeks program, weekend programs, and obviously I've got my own life, which is moving fast. I'm traveling, I've got my own personal relationships. So I can only take on maximum, I would say, 2 to 3 clients a year on this program, because I have other clients in other programs that are shorter. But if you're someone that wants to commit and have me mentor you and have accountability, we have goals and we have a long-term vision. And I can explain more because there's a lot to go through. On the call, I will know if I can work with you or not, if I can accept you on the program, and I can explain more about the program. Any questions you've got about, is it in person? Is it online? What do we do on the program? What does it entail? What are the benefits? And anything else that I can't think of right now, send me an email. Face your fear, send me an email, we'll schedule a Zoom call. I'm easygoing, I'm straight to the point, I'm honest, and I can discuss with you. And I most importantly, I need to know what your goals are, because not every one of my clients' goals are the same. Some people will do my program because they want to get over social anxiety, or they want to start a business, or they want to get a girlfriend, or they eventually want to build confidence. So it's different for every client, which is why I love what I do, and I love the challenge of it. So if you want the challenge and you want to hold yourself accountable, and you want me to hold you accountable, and you want to do a 1-year program and invest, and as I said, if you're someone that really wants to improve their finances, you're going to make a lot more than the 10K that you spend with me, if and providing that you do all the things that I tell you to do and you continue to work hard. You'll do amazing, all right? So I'd love to hear from you. For anyone out there who can't do the program but would like to do it, because they haven't got the finances, stick to the free YouTube videos. All the free YouTube videos have got all the answers, my story, the tips, the strategies, they're all in the free YouTube videos. And if you're new to my channel, subscribe if you want to learn more. I really appreciate it. I'll speak to you guys soon. My email address is below this video and all my videos. Send me an email. I'll get back to you within 48 hours and we will schedule a Zoom call to see if we can work together on the 12-month anxiety program. Right, I'll see you guys soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye.